The Casey Anthony trial is happening now. She was accused of murdering, or, well, possibly murdering her daughter, who drowned in the pool, she says, didn't see it, and then somehow the body was discovered decomposing in the woman's trunk, you know. So the trial's going on now. What do you think is going to happen here? Do you think she did it? Do you think she...
Well, unfortunately, it seems like they're trying to get jurors who were not exposed to a lot of the media, but that's virtually impossible because it seems that, you know, years ago, she was already getting a bad rap. People did not believe her. Even her own parents, you know, turned against her. And it just seems like no matter what they're trying to do, a lot of the jurors are not buying into, I don't think she's going to get a fair trial. So I think she'll be, they're going to have to retry it again, to be honest.
And the defense now is saying that her dad possibly sexually molested her, abused her as a child, and this led to, you know, her parting ways and her inability to bond with her child, so to speak. Do you think that, I mean, I feel like a lot of times in murder trials and in cases like this especially, the defense always goes with, oh, well, she was, you know, sexually abused, she was
or
this and that's the reason
ill
for
or
it.
something.
Exactly.
You know, I think they're trying to find anything in order to help make better her image. Unfortunately, I know a lot of people who have been sexually molested and whatnot, and they're completely normal. So I think the lawyers are trying to do anything to help salvage her image, but unfortunately, I don't think it's looking too good for her.
Yeah, so you're pretty much saying that you think the case is, a decision might not be made because it's not going to come to where it should go.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's move on to something else. On a lighter note, or not even a lighter note, Amy Winehouse is back in rehab.
She's always in rehab.
She's always.
You know, I heard this morning that she was actually drinking bottles of vodka on her way. Exactly. She like stashed them in her purse. She's like, let me just throw back a couple more before I go
to
in.
rehab. Exactly, which makes you think she's not taking it very seriously. So why is this time going to be different from the last?
Unfortunately, I think it takes people who are in the limelight numerous times to get cured. It just cannot happen overnight. If you have an addiction, you have to consistently go in. You have to be serious about it. I think maybe she wasn't serious about it the previous time, but I guess she's slated to play a handful of concerts across Europe, so people are hoping for the best. They want her to get better. They want to see her in concert.
Well, and do you think part of the reason it hasn't worked is because she's never actually entered rehab by choice? It's always been by someone else telling her that they think she needs to be in?
Yeah, I think if somebody finally reaches that breaking point and they're like, you know what, I want to do this for me to better myself, I think she'll have better results this time versus previous times, it's almost like people are coercing her. And I know myself, I don't like it if somebody's trying to coerce me into doing something I don't want to. You kind of rebel.
Well, and I agree with that, but I just wonder where the breaking point is to where you decide yourself to go into rehab, which also brings us then to the Lindsay Lohan.
Oh my God.
Being on house arrest and still being accused of drinking and partying, and she's not taking it seriously. So where do they decide that they're going to be the ones that make the move?
Well, I feel like with Lindsay, she actually turned herself in early because it looks as if she wants to get this sentence over with quicker. And did she turn herself in? Has it been 3 weeks early?
I think so. I think it's been like 3 weeks early. But even with that, I wonder. It's like I just want to get it done with and then be able to go back to my life that I had before. Because even if you think about the previous experiences that she's had, she's never taken them really that seriously to the point where she's completely cleaned up her life. She's always gone right back to where she was.
You're right about that. She always kind of goes back into that party mode, like, oh, a slap on the wrist, let me go party it up again. But I think this time is different. I think she's tired of being the tabloid girl that everybody just, they really destroyed her image. And she went from being one of the most beloved young Hollywood actresses who had a promising future, and now it's totally destroyed. So I think she's actually at that breaking point where she's like, you know what? Let me get my life turned around. I'm going to turn myself in early, several weeks, and let me just enjoy it in the luxury of my Venice home.
Exactly, which I'm pretty sure I've heard that the neighbors in that area are now very upset that she lives there because of paparazzi.
Is it right where the boardwalk is?
It's very close to the boardwalk. Actually, I have a friend who lives like 3 blocks away, and she's constantly having issues with traffic and stuff. So.
Oh, now the paparazzi are going to be staked out right there.
But yeah, well, we wish them all the best, and
definitely.
Hopefully everyone cleans up their lives and goes the way it wants.
Hope so.